Ryan Gander has a giant opening coming up at the Pola Museum in Japan, and so we came to the studio today to talk to him about the show and everything he's got going on. And guess what? We didn't talk about it at all. And that's totally fine, because there are hundreds of great interviews that Ryan has given that explain his practice and talk about his work, because this man is a megastar in the contemporary art world. What we did today was kind of talk more personally about the point of art and why he does what he does, but also like what we're getting wrong. We got into like the deep, big stuff that really bends my mind and like keeps me up at night, and I think keeps him up at night, and really got to the heart of why any of us do what we do. It was a great conversation, and yet again, this is the third time I've got to interview him. I've walked away being like, oh, that's the point. That's the point of all of this. It's epic.
Do I need to turn a little bit? So it's actually talking to you.
He just set the thing up. Move it.
Right, well, we're on scene one. Here we go.
Now listen, the thing is with you,
Yeah.
not only have you and I done this is like third time as a charm for me interviewing you, but you've also done a bazillion interviews. Like, you're very good.
I do quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. And you're good at talking about it. You're good at talking about art generally.
Well, talking about art is art for me. They're the same thing. I think art with no discourse around it isn't really art. So, and I love talking and listening, so.
I think I agree with that. But then how on earth do I possibly, like, I don't think we can talk about your work at all, really, today. Like,
We can talk around it. We can skirt around it.
Where
Quite
would
hard to
you,
talk about.
if you were interviewing yourself, where would you start?
That's a good question. Where would I start? I would start I'd start talking about how amazing the world is outside the world of art, and then wonder why we spend so much of our attention looking at phenomenal things inside a gallery but not in the world, when the world's actually better than the things that happen in the gallery.
Oh, man. Okay, yesterday.
That's an hour conversation already, probably.
It really is. Yesterday, I gave a talk at my kids' school about the art industry. And when I was preparing for it, I was like, you know, the thing that is so weird about art that doesn't apply to anything else, like kids learn instruments at school.
Yeah.
And they suck at them. Like, my kid's playing the bassoon. He's never going to be a bassoon player, right? But he'll always have music in his life. He'll always listen to music. He'll go to shows. He'll do the thing. But that's not true for art. People bail from art in the art world. And why? Why?
Well, that's because there's this Victorian model of education that makes everything factual and tangible and not ephemeral and invisible. We don't trust things that are invisible, and art is invisible. But I think it would be really cool if, you know, national service, where you go in the army for a year. Mm-hmm. I think it would be cool if there was a national service for everyone in this country, in the UK, that was you had to go to art school for a year. And I think the idea behind that is not to make loads of artists, because most people that go to art school don't become artists. It's more to make like creative firefighters, creative teachers, creative drive-through attendants, you know? Because I think having a year at art school, for most people that I meet and, you know, experiences that I have, it's a place where you work out who you are, and it's a place that you work out the strength of collectivity. So
what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, if you look at all good bands and all good art sort of movements, genres, they all start with a scene, and the scene always starts in an art school. So there's something with art. I mean, we live in this era of the self, don't we, where it's all me. But there's something to do with art, which it's a really sort of creative, collective pursuit. not an individual pursuit. Because I think the thing about contemporary art is nothing in contemporary art exists in isolation. And we have this idea that artists sit in their garret being overly romantic and pretentious, the beret, smoking galois, with the light coming in and there's like divine intervention. They put paint on canvas and the angels sing. And it's a solo activity, but it's not a solo activity. I mean, real art isn't a solo activity. The creation of decoration for your house might be a solo activity, but art that's more cognitive than retinal, that's for your brain rather than your eyes, is not a solo pursuit.
Can we talk about what define real art? What do you mean by that?
I mean, this is me talking
Yeah.
now, you know. It's not, I'm not saying, this is not like gospel. This is just what I believe, but believe it really strongly.